Hello children. Today we are going to start motion in one dimension with respect to body at rest and body in motion. Already we have started this chapter and we have finished with scalar and vector quantity. So today we are going to understand with respect to body at rest and body in motion. So here there are few pictures which I have taken for you all. You can see that here this particular lady is in sleeping position. So if with respect to the surrounding where she is sleeping or resting, you will see that she will not change her position with respect to the objects around her. So the surrounding place or the surrounding objects are going to remain the same with respect to her body. That means she is resting because with respect to the surrounding, she is not moving, she is at one place, and that's the reason the body is said to be at rest. So in physics you will see that whenever we say that the body is at rest or body is in motion, we are talking with respect to the frame of reference. This man who is running, you will see that with respect to the surrounding objects, his body is going to change position every time. So that's the reason it is said that his body is in motion. Even with this boy, it's going to be the same. When he's cycling, that time he's going to, or his body and the body of the cycle is going to change the position with respect to the surrounding objects. If you see these two ladies who are sitting at one place, they are said to be at rest. The reason is with respect to the surrounding object, their body is at rest. Now in the next slide, we are going to understand this particular uh, thing very clearly. You will see that there are two ladies over here in this picture. One is in red and the other is in yellow. Now imagine that the lady who is in yellow, now she is outside this box car. Okay, if she goes inside the box car and if the box car is moving, so with respect to the observer, now in physics whenever you are saying that the body is at rest or body is in motion, you are always going to talk with respect to the observer. So if the observer is inside the box car, then with respect to the observer, this particular lady is going to be at rest. The reason is the surrounding with respect to the observer, because observer sees the same surrounding, the same objects what is inside the box car. So with respect to that particular reference, state of reference, frame of reference, you are going to say that, or that lady who is in yellow is going to say that the lady who is in rest, her body is at state of rest. So you have to always understand that in physics, if the body is at rest or body is in motion, it is always with respect to the frame of reference. If now this lady who is in yellow, if she is going to stand outside the boxcar and if she is going to view this lady who is in red, so she will see with respect to the surrounding, this particular boxcar, when it is moving, the lady in red who is inside the boxcar is also moving. So with respect to the surrounding where the lady in yellow is standing, with respect to that surrounding, the surrounding of the lady who is in red is changing every time, the position is changing. So with respect to the frame of reference, when she is outside the boxcar, the lady is in motion, and when she is inside the boxcar along with the lady, that time with that frame of reference, the body is at rest. So you will see that whether or not you are moving depends on your point of view. Point of view means your frame of reference. When the lady is inside the boxcar, with that frame of reference, the body is at rest. When the observer is outside the boxcar and she sees that the boxcar is moving, so with respect to the surrounding, the position of this object is changing, and that's the reason the lady in red is in motion when the lady in yellow is outside the boxcar. So you understand that frame of reference is very important when you say that the body is in motion or body is at rest. Now we go to the next slide over here. To understand the definition, which is very important again in physics, you have to learn this. A body is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with respect to its immediate surrounding. A body is said to be in motion if it changes its position with respect to its immediate surroundings. Very important to learn this definition. Now, the next particular topic, what you have to understand is distance and displacement. What is distance and what is displacement? Now, you will say that it's one and the same thing, because uh, distance we say it is 5 meter and displacement also we say it's 5 meter. But there is a big difference when you say distance and displacement. Now, that I'm going to make you understand with the help of these two pictures. So here in the first picture, the body is moving from position A to position B, and the body is going to move along this path. And then from position A, body is going to reach to position B. So this entire path what the body is going to follow or body is going to cover to move from position A to position B, that is known as distance. And when the body takes the shortest path to move from position A to position B, that particular shortest path is known as displacement. So always remember that the distance is the total path covered by the body, and the displacement is the shortest path taken by the body to reach from one position to other position. So distance is not going to depend on the direction. It can be any direction. The total path covered by the body is the distance. So here the direction is not important, but when you are talking about displacement, the direction is very important because that is the shortest route taken by the body. Here also in the second picture, you will see that the boy is going to reach from position A to position B first, and from position B to position C. Now this is the entire path that is followed by the body. 4 meter plus 3 meter, that is 7 meter. So this is known as the total distance covered by the body. But when you are talking about displacement, it is the shortest route. That's why direction is very important. So the shortest route taken by the body is from position A to position B. That is the shortest route covered. So this is 5 meter. And that's the reason when you are talking about displacement, you should know the direction in which the body is going to cover the shortest distance. Now, displacement and distance, the SI unit and the CGS unit, you should know it. So here you will see that the SI unit of both distance and displacement, though one is a scalar quantity and the other is a vector quantity, because for distance, direction is not important. For displacement, it is very important that you should know the direction. But the SI unit for both is meter. So you will represent it with small m, and CGS unit is centimeter with small c and small m. Okay, now in the next slide, we are going to understand about the difference between the distance and the displacement. So, one minute. See, this particular definition helps you to understand what we have understood from the previous picture. It is the length of the path traveled by the object at a certain time. So in a certain time when it has to reach from position A to position B, in that time, what is the length or the path covered? Then that particular path traveled is the distance. Displacement is the distance traveled by the object in a specified direction. As I told you, the shortest route. So its direction is important, which is the shortest route in a certain time. That is the shortest distance between the final and the initial position. Distance is a scalar quantity, so it is only going to be specified by its magnitude. You are not going to mention the direction, but as displacement is a vector quantity, you are going to specify it along with its magnitude and direction both. Now it depends on the path followed by the object. As I told you in the previous slide, the path which is there, path followed is very important. Path followed is important. So the total distance depends upon the path. But here in displacement, it does not depend on the path followed by the object. So any shortest distance between the two positions, that is going to be the displacement. So it's immaterial which path it is going to follow. The shortest distance is the displacement. It is always going to be positive because direction we are not considering. That's the reason distance is always going to be positive. Whereas in case of displacement, as we are considering the direction, that's why it can be positive, it can be negative, and it can be zero as well. So let us understand how it can be zero. So here, if the body is going to move from position A to position C, okay, first is going to move in this direction. Now, after some time, the body is going to turn and is going to come back to position A. That means you will see that when it was moving from position A to position C, its direction was opposite to the direction of the body when it is moving from position C to position A. That means the direction, uh, the unit or the magnitude of the displacement is same. That is because it is going to cover 5 meter, but the direction is opposite to the previous displacement. That's the reason the net displacement becomes zero. So whenever the body is going to come back to its original position, the displacement becomes zero. But can distance become zero? So distance can never be zero. The reason is you are going to add the total distance. So because body was moving from position A to position C, it covered 5-meter distance, and then when it came from position C to position A, again it covered 5 meters. So the total distance is equal to 10 meter. But displacement becomes zero. The reason is the body is coming back to the same position and it is having opposite direction. So according to the law of vectors, it cancel each other and the magnitude is same. That's why it becomes zero. Is it clear? So from this you understand one thing, that distance is always going to be positive value because you are not going to consider the direction. So it's always going to be positive. But when you are talking about displacement, it can be positive, negative. Negative because if you are taking the reverse direction as a negative sign, you're giving it a negative sign as it is a sign of convention. For you to understand that the vector in which it was going from position A to C, as if you are taking it positive, the opposite direction, for you to understand, you're giving it a negative value. That's the convention what you give. But if it is coming in the reverse direction, that particular displacement is more than the previous displacement, the net value becomes negative. Okay. So displacement can be positive, can be negative, but distance is always going to be positive. Now, if you're considering distance, okay, as you have seen your distance, when the body is moving from position A to position C, we are going to talk about the initial and the final position. It's moving till position B, and from position B it's going to position C. So the total distance is 4 meter plus 3 meter, that is 7 meter. Okay, so the total distance is greater than the displacement. So it's always going to be greater than the displacement because displacement is the shortest route the body is going to follow, or the path the body is going to travel. That's the reason, as it is a shortest distance, that's why it's always going to be less. The value is always going to be less compared to the distance. Can distance be zero? No, it cannot be zero. The reason is body, when it is changing its position from an initial position to final position, it's going to cover some distance. So it cannot be zero. But yes, displacement can be zero because of its direction. So you see here, in these points, I have written the same thing. It can, if you're talking about distance, it can be more than or equal to the magnitude of displacement. But in case of displacement, it can be less or equal to the distance, but it can never be greater than distance as it is the shortest path. You have to remember. Distance may not be zero, cannot be zero anytime. Distance, though displacement is zero, distance will never be 0. And distance, if it is 0, okay, if the body is at rest, we say it covers no distance. So we say distance is 0 because body is at rest. But if the body is in motion, distance has to be covered. Okay. So in this case, distance, if you are considering is 0, displacement can be 0. Though if distance is having some value, still displacement can be 0. The reason is if the body is coming back to the same position. Are you understanding? But you have to understand that distance, if the body is not at rest, it is going to cover some distance, so it cannot be 0. Okay. Now, I hope everything is clear about distance and displacement. The SI unit, I'll repeat. Distance and displacement definition. You can write the first point as the definition. SI unit is important. Difference is important. You have to understand with respect to the figure, if the body is coming back to the same position, the displacement is 0. But distance is the total path covered by the body. Now we go to the next slide where we are going to understand about speed and velocity. What is speed and what is velocity? Now, as you can see in the figure, it said that speed is always the ratio of distance and time. So distance covered by the body in unit time is considered as the speed. Okay, so it's the ratio of distance and time. When you're talking about velocity, it is the ratio of displacement and time. So as distance is a scalar quantity, speed is also a scalar quantity. So when you're talking about speed, you're only going to mention the magnitude. But when you're talking about velocity, as it is displacement upon time and direction is necessary, that's the reason you're going to specify it with the direction. So it's a vector quantity. I hope it's clear. We go to the next slide where you are going to write the first point as a definition. The distance traveled per second by a moving object is called as speed. The distance traveled per second by moving object in a particular direction is called its velocity. Distance is a scalar quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity. So as I've told you, scalar, you only specify the magnitude. Vector, you specify both magnitude as well as direction. Speed is always positive since the direction is not taken into consideration. As I told you, in case of distance, you don't consider the direction. That's why it's going to be a positive value. Same is in case of speed. You are going to consider only the magnitude. That's the reason it's always going to be positive. Whereas in case of velocity, you are going to mention the direction. That's the reason you are going to specify it with sign positive, negative, depending upon the direction of motion. Now, in a circular path, if the body is in a circular path, okay, the average speed of the body is not 0 because the distance covered. For example, if it is going to cover or move, say in 2 seconds, 2 rounds of a circle. So the distance you are going to measure by using the formula of uh, circumference of a circle, because when it is going to follow in a circular path, it's going to cover the circumference. That we will study in the next slide, probably. We'll study it in the next slide. So you have to understand that one round of a circular path, the average speed is not 0 because the distance upon time, you are going to take that ratio. But in a circular motion, as the body is moving in a circular path, it's going to come back to that initial position. The final position and the initial position is same. That's the reason whenever body is in a circular path, displacement is 0, and that's the reason average velocity is also 0. In the next slide, we'll be in the coming next videos, we'll be talking about circular motion, and there we will understand speed and velocity. And now the next topic is acceleration. So when you are talking about acceleration, what is acceleration? And very important thing, The SI unit and the CGS unit for speed and velocity is meter per second and centimeter per second. So the SI unit and the CGS unit, meter per second, because distance and displacement is meter, time is in second, and unit CGS unit as distance and displacement is centimeter, so it is centimeter per second. Now the next slide, acceleration. So in case of acceleration, it is the change in velocity. You can see here in the figure I have written initial velocity is represented with small u, final velocity is represented with small v, and time with t. So change in velocity, that is final velocity minus initial velocity upon time, is known as acceleration. So acceleration means change in velocity, rate of change of velocity, because per time means we call it rate. So rate of change in velocity is known as acceleration. So acceleration definition, the rate of change of velocity with time. So when you're writing the word rate, it's understood it is with time, but the definition as it is given in textbook, you're going to write the same thing. SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. CGS unit of acceleration is centimeter per second square. Retardation. What is retardation? Retardation is negative acceleration. That means if the body is having initial velocity, say 5 meter per second, and final velocity is 10 meter per second, that means 10 minus 5 is going to be 5. uh, and if it is the velocity, change in velocity is with respect to 2 seconds, then you're going to write 5 upon 2, that is 2.5 meter per second square acceleration. When we are going to do numericals, you'll understand that time, but for now you have to understand, if the velocity, final velocity, is greater than the initial velocity, then you say acceleration. That means the body is increasing its velocity. If the body is decreasing its velocity, that means if you apply brakes, if you apply brake to the car, what will happen to the velocity of the car or the cycle, any vehicle? It will decrease its velocity, the speed will decrease, and when there is decrease in velocity, it's known as retardation. So retardation is negative acceleration, or you call it deceleration as well. So these are the different names given to the same instance when the velocity of the body is decreasing. So negative acceleration is retardation. I hope everything is clear till now. So whatever we have done today, you have to know the definition, you have to know the SI unit, and you have to know the difference. So we have completed body at rest, body in motion, distance, displacement, relation, um, velocity, speed, relation, and meaning of acceleration and retardation, it's SI unit. So please learn all this, and thank you.